In this episode, Auditor is quietly filming outside a police station, something he's completely allowed to do. Out of nowhere, an inspector and several officers rush over, accusing him of harassment because he filmed a private car from a public street. Within minutes, they're threatening to arrest him even though they've got no legal grounds. PTTP stands firm, calmly dismantles their claims, and exposes just how unprofessional they are being. The encounter ends with a formal complaint, forcing the chief inspector to respond.
Hello?
Are you doing a news piece?
Just having a look at your cars now, really. Just saw his PC was idling up there, and I figured she was going to be coming out in a second, so yeah, just waiting for... Oh my days. Hang on, so we got an inspector, a PC?
Yeah.
PC? Inspector. So we got 4 police officers for a man with a camera.
Right.
But it's quite intimidating, isn't it, having 4 people come out?
There's private vehicles there as well as vehicles that are unmarked.
Sure, but
I'm just wondering what your purpose is.
But it's quite intimidating having 4 officers come out and accost somebody with a camera.
You're here on police premises.
Yeah, but like 4 people.
We need to establish whether there's a security issue.
Okay.
So, do you want to talk to me about what you're here for? I've got no issue with you filming, but as I've said, there's private vehicles.
Yeah, it's not my intention to get those. If they're in the background of a shot, they're in the background of a shot. But I'm not here to. I'm not
doing a news piece. Do you want an interview? I'll talk to you if you'd like to have an interview.
Not particularly. No, just want to have a look around. That's all. Just like to look around.
I saw you obviously trying to walk around there. So I was just wondering.
You should be careful with the information that you say like that, because I wasn't trying to walk around there at all.
The first few seconds set the tone. 4 officers, led by an inspector, march straight towards the auditor in a line. No looking around, no stopping to check the situation, just straight in. The inspector starts with the usual soft opener, "I don't mind you filming," but instantly flips it by pointing out private cars in the car park. It's a subtle move, designed to make whatever the auditor does next look dodgy. And right on cue, another officer chimes in, claiming they saw him trying to enter the private car park. That's not just an observation, that's an accusation. Was it close to the line? Maybe. Was it illegal? No. But if they can convince everyone he intended to cross the line, they suddenly have a reason to intervene. It's suspicion being manufactured on the spot.
I was stood there for a good 4 minutes watching you in your vehicle, and I saw the sign saying no unauthorised access. So don't tell me that I was trying to walk places where I wasn't. Be careful with things like that.
Have you got the footage that you need?
I'm not sure yet, to be honest.
Okay, but I'd like you to leave, because as I've said, there are private vehicles there, but you've got some footage. You've got enough, there's nothing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the footage that I was getting was actually interrupted by the PC stopping and coming out. Okay. But so I'll probably wait around to see if any more vehicles come in or out, see if I can get one on blue lights.
You shouldn't do that, because as I've said, there's private cars coming in and out. Officers don't want you recording them coming and going from duty, because that presents a potential security risk.
Well, they shouldn't drive to work then, really, should they? If they're that concerned. You have no business to film the private areas that are off limit to the public. I have every business to film anything that's visible from a public area.
But my point is, you shouldn't be going up there, which is what you've done.
I haven't gone past the signage where your signage is. It doesn't say the signage. The signage is the signage here saying that I can't go further than this, or is the signage there saying I can't go further than there?
The inspector keeps repeating the phrase private vehicles like it's some magic rule that cancels out public rights. In reality, those cars don't matter. If they are visible from a public spot, they can be filmed. But by repeating it, she makes it sound like the auditor's doing something he shouldn't. Then comes the next line, "You've got enough footage." That's not law, that's her deciding when he should stop. Straight after, she repeats her colleague's false claim, warning him not to go further up. She hasn't seen him cross the line, hasn't even checked the signs herself, she's just repeating an accusation with authority. But the auditor knows the layout better than she does. He points out the obvious, the restricted zone is further ahead. He hasn't crossed it, and the law is on his side.
My personal use, public interest.
Well, my personal vehicle is there, and I'm asking you, from me to you as a private individual, I'm not comfortable with you violating my personal space.
It's not your personal space. It's
my vehicle there, my private vehicle is there, and I'm not comfortable with you filming that.
Well, if you hadn't announced that it was your private vehicle, nobody would ever have known.
I'm telling you it is, so
no, you are
doing
now.
You to stop. Yeah,
well, I'm not going to. It's in a public area.
In which case, you'll have to be removed to prevent the breach of the peace, because you are.
How am I breaching the peace? Do you know what the threshold is for breach of the peace?
You already have enough footage message, so I'm asking you to leave.
Okay.
You're creating these officers aren't able to get on with their policing
I'm
duty.
not stopping them.
What the inspector says next is unbelievable. My personal vehicle is there, and I'm asking you, from me to you, as a private individual, I'm not comfortable with you violating my personal space. Personal space? That doesn't even apply here. She's in uniform, on duty, talking about a police car park owned by the force, not her. And it's clearly visible from a public road. You can't claim personal space over something you don't own or control. The auditor calls her out straight away, it's not your personal space. She doubles down though, saying she's not happy with her car being filmed. The irony? If she hadn't said anything, no one would have even known which car was hers. She made it personal herself. Then she threatens him, if he doesn't stop, he'll be removed to prevent a breach of the peace. That's not how the law works. Breach of the peace is about stopping violence or serious disorder, not about stopping someone from legally filming just because an officer's uncomfortable.
There are individuals, as I was, getting on with a matter that's of concern to the community, and I've got an individual on police premises filming not only the police cars coming and going, but officers arriving for duty and leaving again. That causes me a concern.
So you're working on conjecture there, because I have specifically said that that is not my intention.
I've said to you, you're causing me a concern, so I'd like you to leave.
Well, you're concerned. Do you police by your feelings in this country, or do you police by what the law is?
I'd like you to leave.
Do you police by what do you police by what the law is, or do you police by?
The officers to take you away because you are not.
Am I in a public place?
There are officers having private conversations about cases in the backyard of the police station.
Well, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be having that conversation in that sort of place.
But you shouldn't be there within the scope of being able to film them.
Do you know you can film anything you can see from a public place in the UK?
Okay.
Is this a public place?
This is a public place.
There you go. So if I can film it.
Let me put it a different way. If you stand at the end of my driveway at home, which is a public place, repairable at public expense, and you film into my window, is that acceptable?
Is this your home? Do you live here? Do you sleep here?
But these are private premises. Beyond this line here, you are filming from a public into a private space. Is that permitted?
Yes.
Hearing him repeat that he's in a public place, she tries the old hypothetical. If you stood at the end of my driveway at home and filmed into my window, would that be acceptable? It's a weak comparison from the start. Filming into the windows of someone's house can raise real privacy concerns under harassment or data protection laws. But this isn't a home, it's a police station. There's no domestic privacy here. The auditor cut straight through it. Is this your home? Do you live here? Exactly. The law treats someone's house very differently from a workplace, especially one run by a public body. She tries to claw it back by saying, this is private premises, you're filming from a public place into a private one. And yes, it is private premises. But if it's visible from public land, you can still film it. The driveway example is just a distraction, designed to make it feel personal instead of sticking to the law.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Of course it is.
So you can stand on my road and film me in my home, can you?
If your curtains are open, then legally, yes, I can.
So
if I continue to do it repeatedly, then you could potentially take action about harassment. But at this point, I've been here once only, to come and get some footage that I want to.
Just footage for a couple of minutes and then you can leave.
No, you don't put a time. You don't put a time limit on my rights.
I do put a time limit on you, and I'm telling you.
Do you know what Article 10 is of the Human Rights Act?
You are causing me personally harassment and alarm by filming here.
Go talk to Lord Justice Bean about it. The police have a much higher threshold.
To leave and then you're going to go.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Arrest me?
Yes,
you're going to arrest me. You'll be hearing from my solicitors, and you'll be having a civil suit on your hands. Arrest me for what? What are you going to arrest me for?
You are causing a nuisance.
What are you going to arrest me for?
Either public nuisance or harassment.
Public nuisance.
Yeah.
So under the new legislation that came over public.
So you've got your opportunity to film. So I'd like you to not film or certainly delete anything that has details of my personal vehicle or that of any other police officers there, and then I want you to go. All right. You don't
put a time limit on my rights.
From getting on with
no, I'm exercising my rights here, and you don't put a time limit on that, Inspector. Inspector what? Blackwell. Thank you.
No, you all right with me? Yeah, go and do it.
Yeah, see, I'm obviously not that much of a concern because you're allowing them to go about their business, yet you're threatening to arrest me. Tyrants here at Stamford.
The inspector's last move before heading back inside is pure empty threat. She tells the auditor, "You've got 2 minutes, then you're leaving." He refuses, standing firm in his rights. So she raises it, "Or else you'll be arrested for being a public nuisance." And that's where it all falls apart. Public nuisance isn't a catch-all offense for anything annoying. In law, it's serious, tied to endangering life, blocking public rights, or causing widespread harm. Since 2022, it's been a statutory offense under Section 78 of the Police, Crime, Sentencing and Courts Act, and it still requires serious harm or risk. Quietly filming in a public spot doesn't even come close. By threatening that she wasn't applying the law, she was just trying to scare him into leaving. That's misuse of authority, plain and simple. Chief Inspector John Shields' response later is just as telling. He defends Inspector Blackwell, saying she was within her rights to ask what the auditor was doing. Fair enough, asking questions is fine. But he ignores everything else. The false claims, the personal space excuse, the unlawful arrest threat, the nonsense about breach of the peace. None of that was within her rights. He even admits the auditor wasn't on police property, but then suggests filming towards police property may cause concern. But concern isn't law, it's just a feeling. Unless it's linked to suspicion of a real offense, it means nothing. And yet Shield repeats the same weak justifications, just dressed up in formal language. The worst bit? He says he doesn't believe she acted unprofessionally. But professionalism isn't just about not shouting, it's about applying the law properly, not making up threats, and not mixing personal feelings with police powers. On all counts, she failed. Shield had the evidence in front of him and still backed her. That's the problem with internal reviews. They protect the uniform, not the public. By rubber-stamping her behavior, he showed that the complaints process isn't about accountability at all. It's about closing ranks. The video shows clear misuse of authority from start to finish, and the official response only confirms it. That's it for today's video. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps me keep this independent coverage going.